Yeah, why not?
Let's start the
Y'all
show,
ready for
guys.
this?
Let's start the show.
In the Pocket, presented by Streaming Artist Agency, featuring the godmother of drums, viral educator and drum icon with nearly 3 million followers worldwide. You've seen her on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, a master of rudiments, Dorothea Taylor. By her side, with more than 30 years behind the kit, studio session and stage performer with artist Santana, Slash, and Vogue and more. At the forefront and industry leader of TikTok Live, host of Drummer's Diary, Jamie Gailey. And now, please welcome your host of In the Pocket, from Never Too Old to Drum, Darren Cohen.
Welcome, 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 my friends. It is another week of In the Pocket, your weekly dose. What is that, Dorothea? Is that your reminder to go to the bathroom?
It was a reminder that it's 8 o'clock show.
Oh, well, you're here. A reminder. Welcome, my friends. It is another edition of In the Pocket, your weekly dose of drum talk, drum gear, drum demonstration, and guests from around the world. It is so exciting to be here. Welcome, Miss Dorothea Taylor. How are you? And also our good friend from Drummer's Diary, Mr. Jamie Gailey. How are you, sir?
Doing great. How are you today?
I'm good. First and foremost, we have Dorothea in a different environment. She is, she's going to be running back and forth to a few places. She's got a couple of important things to do this evening.
Yes.
So we'll cut her some slack.
She's picking it up.
Yeah. But Jamie, we're going to have a good show tonight, my friend. You know, we have been waiting for this for a couple of weeks now, where Drummer's Diary had run a contest for the winner to appear on this show, and it is that night. Finally, who do we have, Mr. Jamie?
Well, so Streaming Artist Agency ran the Ghost Note Showdown last month, and the winner is House on the Hill, who will be coming on here shortly. He is a live streamer here on TikTok, and he's got some Halloween antics for y'all, so it should be pretty entertaining.
He is one of my favorites, and, you know, I feel like this is going to be a great show, only because I finally, Dorothea, I'm back on my throne. I'm back on the throne. Woo! I'm no longer in an office chair.
You like it?
Oh, it's so good. So I got the rock and sock, Jamie, and it's got the one with the hydraulic, so I can go up, I can go down.
I wish I had gotten that, but at the time.
I had to, and it's got the back on it too, which is nice. But I had to, Dorothea, because, you know, Holden and I, my 10-year-old, he plays as well, and you know, we're constantly going back and forth. And the other one that I had to spin to get it higher and lower.
I know. I have to do that too, but it's just me, so not too bad.
I hear you. But wow, look at you, House. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me on.
What's happening?
Congratulations on your big win.
Thank you.
Would you say
it's been a whirlwind the last month or so?
Would you say that's like the biggest prize you've ever won in your life, or have you won something larger than this? And please be honest.
Shoot. It's a pretty big deal, since I've been only streaming for about 2.5, 3 months.
Oh, good.
So I mean,
he's coming up quick.
It's been awesome, but this was pretty exciting.
It is exciting, and, you know, I'm a huge fan of yours. I first saw you in the TikTok universe, just, you know, in the drum circles, and saw you perform live a couple of times, and I became an instant fan. I love the whole getup you have. Now, first and foremost, tell people, should they be scared of you? Let's get that out of the way.
No.
Okay, good.
But yes.
Good. Oh, no and yes. Okay, so sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, no, not really, but it's all fun.
So, Jamie you told me he's kind of like a real Halloween nut, right?
Oh, yeah. He's got more Halloween stuff than I've ever seen. I mean, he has his little friend back there too.
I know. It's scary looking.
Let's
Could
put
you
him on the
introduce
big
us to your friend?
Let's
That's,
put him on the big screen.
That's Gina.
Oh,
Oh, Gina.
He
Yeah.
named her.
That's a new one, right? You had-
Yep.
Who was it? George before?
Well, George is missing.
Oh,
And that's George's girlfriend. So
I can see she's kind of distraught. You
Yeah.
can tell in her eyes.
She's like, get me out of here. Now, how long have you had this fascination with, the Halloween theme and skeletons and things like that?
well, I mean, it started when I was a kid. My dad and my grandpa back in the day, when I was little, I can't even remember. I was really young. And during Halloween, they would bring out some strobe lights, bring out the big 15-inch speakers, blare Halloween music, and get Frankenstein costume on it and a gorilla costume, and they would, the trick-or-treaters would come up and get scared, and get candy and whatnot. And then it kind of progressed into more. My dad was into the Haunters Association, and he did haunted houses, and then I grew into that, and I built and ran one for a couple years. And it's just been kind of
And what
that's
does your house
how it
look like
all
now?
started, and I started collecting masks and
And so your house is are you that house on the block that everyone is like, that's the crazy house with all the
yeah,
skeletons and
Crazy.
everything?
That's
you?
the one.
yep. And I decorate for Christmas too, and I just put the Santa hats on the skeletons.
Now, Dorothea and Jamie might. I can only assume how old you are. I don't know, but you're like Tim the Tool Man Taylor. The one that always had that big house on the block. You're right,
Yeah.
Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got one of those whole storage containers full of Halloween stuff.
Now,
Yeah.
is it year round house or is it just Halloween month?
I prefer Halloween all year round. I mean, my setup is, there's people that come in my live and they're like, Halloween's over. No,
Not
it's
for
not
you.
over.
for you.
Well, one of the things I really love about your live stream is that you have like a running dialogue going on. There's like a storyline. You have different characters you play, and
Yeah.
then the backgrounds and everything. It's just kind of like a running soap opera almost of your characters.
Kinda, yeah.
Do they talk to each other, the characters?
Yes. We talked to Grandma. Grandma's a big hit on Sundays. But I do right now. It's probably about 7 or 8 different characters here and there that I do, and plan on putting in a little bit more.
Who are the characters people could expect when they come to your channel?
You got Jason Voorhees. You got Sinister Sister, which is a nun, and then we got Earl, the zombie. Then we got the pig butcher, and then
yeah,
we
he's
got Michael Myers, and man, now I'm drawing a blank.
And then right now, who are you right now, Frank?
Jason Voorhees.
That's Jason. Yeah.
Oh, this is Jason Voorhees. Okay.
Do your
Yep.
characters
You look like
each,
Frankenstein a little bit from.
do your characters each have their type of music that they play?
Yeah, kind of like on Sundays, it's Coffee with Grandma. And Grandma, she plays classic 70s, easy listening music. Sometimes she gets a little crazy and starts throwing around some Rage Against the Machine. But for the most part, it's 60s, 70s, a little bit of 80s. But then the,
Very cool.
the other characters pretty much play anything else.
And how's your experience been on TikTok so far? You're pretty new on here, and you've quickly risen up to the top ranks in the agency, and I mean now you just won the contest too. How's
Yeah,
that experience been for you?
It's been awesome. I've been on TikTok for a while, but I never did live things or anything like that on TikTok. But I ran into Drummer's Diary, was one of the first ones I ran into, and then I ran into a couple more, And then I ran into a couple more, and I'm like, oh, man. And then I ran into a gentleman that dresses up like Michael Myers, and I'm like, ooh. And then, I just got an idea, and I told the wife, and she's like, what? I said, yeah, we're going to give it a shot, see what happens. And And then I was listening to, I kept on seeing Drummer's Diary and then SAA, and then I started inquiring about that, and SAA's been awesome because Jamie helped me with my equipment, what I needed to get started. What a great agency they are. Tons and tons of support. I just give a little text or a message, and I get answers and help when I need it. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I remember when you came to me and we were getting your audio gear all set up, and you were like, I got this idea. I want to do these characters, and now look at you.
Yeah,
I think it's wonderful. I love how committed you are to it. And, I think a good thing on TikTok is to stand out. We all have to have our own personal story. And everyone, should be different. Everyone should be their own person and bring their character and uniqueness to the platform. And I'm all for it. So I commend you for it. How difficult is it to play drums in those costumes?
Some of them are not too bad. I was gonna have Earl come in tonight, but Earl is a silicone full head mask, and it's really, really tight. So it's tough to talk in it. I can talk in it, but it's really tough. But like that costume, Earl is extremely tough to wear because it's so heavy and it's really tight to your face, and I sweat pretty bad in that.
Have you progressed in quality of costumes from like when you first started to now?
Oh yeah, and like the stuff I wear, I make, and just de-stress it, and then spray paint blood, and
Now we don't have to worry about you going like Texas Chainsaw Massacre on us, right? Like wearing real skin.
No.
We don't have to worry about that, right?
No, we don't have to worry about that.
All right, I'm just checking. Making light of it, and man, I love your thing. I love your vibe, brother. I really do. I'm a huge Slipknot fan, and I love the mysteriousness of it. But I asked Jamie earlier in a text. I was like, hey, he won't reveal his face ever. Is he like deformed or burned under the mask? Like, I want to be respectful. And he's like, no. He's got a regular face.
It's scary. You guys, you don't even know. Like,
yeah. It's not pretty.
Yeah. No, I'll bet. I'm sure it is. But, can you play something for us? We'd love to hear you jam for a little bit. I know we can't play, full songs or anything, but, just play some chops, man. We'd love to hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I downloaded a AI song. It's like 3 minutes long.
Yeah, dude, go for it.
And bear with me. It's been a
No,
minute.
it's all good. You get set up, and guys, if you're watching, please click on that plus sign next to House's name. It's House on the Hill.
I appreciate it, guys.
78. Please give him a follow. Great content. I'm a huge fan since day one. You'll also see him perform live on multiple drum circles, including Drummer's Diary on Thursday nights, which is always a lot of fun. So House on the Hill 78, our contest winner to appear on the show. We appreciate you so much, House, and we're so excited for you to be on this platform in this show to share your story with so many. Give it to us, baby.
yeah.
There is a house on the hill. You won't believe what I've seen. There is a house on drink that wine. And I don't know if I can take it anymore. Please save me from the
Bro, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Good job, man.
Well done. Man, I love that you could just jam, dude. I love it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. How
I'm
long
getting
have
better.
you been drumming?
It's been, shoot, I got video VHS tapes, if you know what that is,
I do.
of me drumming on my dad's kit, like 8 or 9, doing a little bit of Bob Seger.
Aw.
So, I mean,
And
I've
your
been
parents
playing.
were musicians?
What's that?
Your parents were musicians?
My dad played in a couple different bands. Actually, I have his kit over there in the corner. Old 82 Ludwig.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But
I can
yeah,
neither confirm nor deny that I was in a car with a girl playing night moves. back in the I can't deny that or confirm.
yeah, I mean, over the years, I played for years, but you know, there was a time where 8 years I didn't really touch my set at all. You know, kids, family, wife, how, you know, all that stuff, and you know, I've been getting back at it pretty much since I started streaming. So
What are you playing on now?
I'm playing on a 5-piece Tama with a Jay Weinberg signature snare.
Tell us a little bit more about that. When did you come across that?
The snare.
Yeah.
It was a couple years ago. I'm a big Slipknot fan. I can't play Slipknot on the drums, but I'm a
Not yet.
huge fan. I love them. And when Jay Weinberg took over, replacing Joey, he's big with he was big, or he still is, with SCJ, I think it is. And I just ran into it, and they were doing a bunch of pre-orders, and I was like, holy moly, I gotta have it.
Now, do you have it tuned the way it sounds that he played it?
I believe so, but I'm not entirely sure.
Can you pick it up so we can see it better?
Yeah.
I'd
while
love to see
he's-
it.
While he's doing that, Jay had some great content when he was touring with Slipknot. The whole final year he was with them on that last tour of theirs, he would have a drum cam mounted to his head,
Oh, yeah.
and it was a point of view. And I'll tell you, these videos were really fascinating to see how fast he moved. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Because that's SJC.
Yeah, SJGC, yeah.
So I have the SJC Liquid Death. It has Liquid Death on it. And I think it's like chrome or something. It's really heavy. Yeah. They do great work, SJC drums.
That's awesome.
That looks so good.
Yeah,
What are the
that's,
symbols? What are the
it's a-
symbols you're rocking?
Zildjian's.
We love Zildjian.
Yeah, I got Zildjian's S Dark. I just replaced a couple. S Dark crashes 16 or 16, 18, and then I got a custom hybrid Crash 17, and then a 20-inch K Custom ride,
And
and a
are you
13-inch hybrid.
Are you primarily self-taught, or did you have any sort of?
No, see, my dad was playing, and I was fascinated with it, and I got on his kit that I have over there when I was a kid, and it just progressed from there. And basically, I've learned by ear, no lessons. I want to get into doing rudiments. Dorothea Taylor has definitely inspired me to get in and do some of those just to learn, because I've learned all by ear, so.
As do a lot of drummers, especially on social
Yeah.
media and stuff. There's so many resources nowadays with YouTube and all these different platforms.
Right.
It's like you can really get quite an education just watching videos.
Yeah.
And I get my practice playing live. It
Yeah.
seems
Isn't that the beauty of TikTok? It's like you get to practice like hours every day just
right.
doing your thing.
And before you know it, 3 hours has gone by. I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go to bed.
Right.
That's so
Yep.
true. You had mentioned haunted house association earlier. Have you ever gone to like those Universal Studio
Yes.
horror nights things? That
Yes.
I can totally see like that's your scene.
Oh my word. Yeah, me and the wife went there twice down to Orlando, and it's Hollywood. It's top-notch scenes. It's just in your face. It's a great time.
But I bet you're not the guy that jumps when somebody comes out with a chainsaw. I probably would guess you don't
No,
jump.
I have. There's
That's surprising.
Some get me, yes, but I'm not the type of person. You got those people that go into, oh, I'm a tough guy. I ain't scared. I'm paying X amount of money to go in there to check it out and get scared. I want to get scared. Come on,
Dude, I used to go there every single year, and I have not been there since I'd say 2004, maybe 2005, and it's because I was traumatized. It was right when the movie Saw came out, so they did a Saw theme.
Oh yeah.
And one of the houses, I'm not even joking, you walked into like the scene of the bathroom, and it smelled like death.
Yeah.
I could still smell that 20 years later, and from that moment on, I'm like, nope, done. Never going to one of those ever again.
And that's funny because when I built and ran the haunted house for a couple of years, little containers that we slip in a little fan. It had all different kinds of smells you could do, and it just, yeah, each room had a different smell.
Yeah,
it's fun.
it's too real, man.
Right.
But where you are, it probably doesn't smell like. Your wife won't stand for that, right?
No.
Okay. I would say you're not going to be doing that in the basement there.
No.
Yeah.
So when are we going to see a band put together with all of these different characters? Get a bass player that's like dressed up as Elvira or something.
I don't know. That's a
Could be
great
me.
idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
What character would you be, Jamie? If you were to,
Me?
let's say you played guitar, and I know you do, you dabble. What would you be?
I'd probably dress up as you.
Me?
Yeah, from the Addams
What?
Family.
So what you're saying is I'm scary looking? Gee, thanks.
No, I mean, I didn't want to say it out loud, but I mean, Fester from the Addams Family has kind of a striking resemblance.
Can you believe this? What I have to put up with? My goodness. Dorothea, I wonder what character you'd be. I kind of see you as like
Grandma.
like an
Yeah,
evil
grandma.
grandma.
Yes.
How evil do you think
Undead
you could
grandma.
get? Because you're so sweet. Do you think you can get into like an evil character?
But yes, I would do that just to scare people.
You would do. So here's what I could envision. I could see you doing like rudiments on people's heads,
Yeah, that would, yeah.
right? And I don't mean lightly. I mean like you're really going for it.
I could do it.
Yeah, you lean Jamie over and you do it on his bottom.
Yeah.
You know, like the nuns used to do to him when he was young.
Yeah.
I get it.
I can see her dressing up as the Domino's guy, busting out her practice pad right there.
Yep.
Her pizza.
That would be cool too. So, who's your favorite character at the moment? You probably, I mean, I can't assume that you changed week to week, but do you have a favorite character of yours?
Yeah, my favorite character is Michael Myers.
Why?
All-time favorite.
Why is that your favorite?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everybody knows him.
Yeah, everybody knows him, but at the same time, when I was a kid and I watched, the first couple ones, I don't know. I was petrified, but at the same time, I was intrigued. I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. Just the
You got competition for that one with Kavorka on here.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm
Is
waiting to see you guys go head to head.
it from Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
This
my,
one,
my friend Jamie Lee Curtis was in those.
Yes, and I met Nick Castle, I met Tyler Maine, and a couple other ones of that who played Michael, and actually the James Jude Courtney, the one that just played the last three.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite horror movie of all time?
I would have to say Halloween.
It is Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
just-
first one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
So good.
I mean, I like all different kinds. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The
I
first
saw
one.
I saw the first one when it first came out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was pretty scary.
That would have been, was that 77?
It was a long time ago, and people were leaving the theater because they couldn't take it anymore. I stayed till the end.
Yeah,
I
could
believe
see
it
you
was
staying.
71 when the first one came out.
It could have been.
Wow.
I think. I'm not entirely sure.
I could totally
It's a
see
good question.
Dorothea staying in that theater, though. You're brave. You're not going to walk.
I was watching it for entertainment. I wasn't scared.
Yeah, that's what it's for, is entertainment.
Yeah.
So, what's next? I mean, what do you want to accomplish on TikTok now?
I just want to, when I go live and stuff, and I just want people to come in, hang out, have a good time, good vibes, and try to play some good music. And whatever comes from that, I'm more than happy. I'm having fun on here. I got a great agency that backs me up and helps when I need it, and I'm just having fun. Having
That's
a good
what it's
time.
about.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Absolutely.
When it becomes no fun, then it's
Yeah.
so. Yeah, just
Well, you're doing great, and we appreciate you coming on tonight.
I thank you guys. Appreciate
Everybody,
you
make
guys.
sure you guys give House on the Hill a follow.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, House on the Hill 78 and Streaming Artist Agency. Give both those platforms a huge follow. And House, do you go live every night, or is there a particular schedule that you follow? Because I want people to tune in.
I go Friday or Tuesdays and Fridays 7 to 9, and I do Sundays at 12 noon Eastern time. Every time's
Fantastic.
Eastern time.
Okay.
And then I once in a while throw in a Wednesday, or I'll go on midweek jam with D Mike, or jump on Drummer's Diary drum circle on Thursdays.
That's a
Yep,
fun
yep.
one.
Oh
What
yeah.
state? What state do you live in?
Oh, Michigan. Go blue.
I knew it. I could hear it.
That Midwest accent, you could hear that?
Oh, I'm from Michigan, so
Oh yeah.
the
great
UP though. My accent is even worse up there.
Whereabouts up in the UP?
Near Marquette.
Oh, okay. My daughter's up in Northern.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
I'm
cool.
actually from Ishpeming. Have you ever heard of Ishpeming?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
13 miles from Northern.
Okay. Nice. It's
Cool.
gorgeous up there.
Yeah. I knew that I recognized the Michigan though. Or it could have been into Wisconsin, but I felt like it was Michigan.
Well,
Good to
maybe
hear.
one day we will take In the Pocket on the road, but we'll come up there in the summertime because I don't
Yes.
do well in the cold.
Yeah.
In the summer. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
already snowing up there.
Yeah, I can't do that. Well, congratulations, House on the Hill 78, our big contest winner for the chance to appear on this show for a full segment. And man, we are so proud of you. Congratulations on your early success here on TikTok, and keep grinding, man. We're going to be there for you. We're going to be supporters of yours, and we love you, brother.
Thanks, guys. You guys have
All
a
right.
good night. Appreciate everybody. Thank you
All
for the
right.
gifts.
All right, House. Thank
House
you.
on the
Bye-bye.
Hill, ladies and gentlemen. House on the Hill 78. Well done, man. What a great vibe that is, guys. Isn't that a great vibe? Man, I love that.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
his shows are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, you know?
Up
I mean,
next.
I should have thought of that, Jamie, because, you know, you got me now all self-conscious about how I look. I should have done that, you know? Who knows?
What's
Just
the
playing with
character's
you.
name that's bald on there?
Uncle Fester?
I'm
Uncle
a
Fester.
Fester, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that a couple of times, so yeah, I get it.
You don't really look like him. I was just giving you a hard time.
I know. Man, wow. So back-to-back interviews tonight, folks. We're going to have a great second half here of the show. Our big thanks to House on the Hill. And now we have our good friend, Jay Fenichel from the Drummers Almanac. What's up, my friend?
Hey, everybody. Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, turn your mic down just a smidge.
Oh,
It's
it's
a little
loud.
overmodulated.
Okay, let's take it down. Hold on. Tell me when it's good. Is that sounded better?
I like that.
Yeah.
that.
Is that okay?
Wow,
Okay.
you got a nice looking setup there, my friend. What you
Thank
rocking
you.
there?
That is a GMS Grandmaster Series from 1995. So it's an old kit. I like it old. I'm an old school guy. Yeah.
Introduce yourself. The Drummer's Almanac. What is that?
Okay,
what is
well-
that, and what do you do?
Incidentally, the Drummer's Almanac was my first membership website. I started it back in 2012 just for my students. That's when I initially kind of launched it. It's around the same time, believe it or not, Drumeo actually came out. It was around that. Yeah,
Okay.
well, because Drumeo is much on a giant scale. But yeah, I initially started it for my students just as a place for them to come in and practice. And it kind of grew from there. And I had a bunch of students that eventually came into it. Then I made it more public and I opened it up to more people. So that just became my handle, just because that was the name of my website. I've since transferred that over to Study the Drums, which is now my new app, and that's kind of what I'm doing now in the education world mostly. But yeah, and it's actually Fenichel. The CH is an SH sound, like shell.
I wondered about
My
that.
apologies.
That's okay. That's right. Most very hard, not an easy one to get.
It's not a traditional Long Island name. So
It is
Jay
not.
and I are both from Long Island.
That's right.
And, we grew up literally minutes from one another.
Smithtown, you grew
nearly
up, right?
Smithtown, nearly graduated the same year. Everybody up there is Smith, Cohen, or because I'm a Cohen, or
Right.
some Italian name.
Right.
You know.
Well, my mom's maiden name is Palumbo, so
Well, there you go.
there you go. So
I love it.
yeah.
Oh man.
And you're not streaming from your account today. We were having some issues. So if you
Little
guys
bit.
notice, he's on the Streaming Artist Agency account. But make sure you give a follow to the Drummer's Almanac.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't know why I'm sorry about that, guys. We know we're having all kinds of technical issues.
No
but-
biggie, man. No biggie.
Not a big
So,
deal.
when did you first start teaching?
I mean, I started teaching right away. So my story with teaching, I graduated college in 1998. Went to SUNY Purchase in New York in White Plains, which is about now like half hour north of New York City.
Yeah,
And,
so Long Island people either go to SUNY or they go to Suffolk
Right.
Community.
Well, I was going to go to Berkeley. I auditioned at Berkeley. I auditioned at the New School, all the schools in the city. I got into everything, but the thing with Purchase was, first of all, it was a state school. And since I was a state resident, the tuition was like half of what those other ones were. The other thing that is when I went there, they gave me a key. and we're like, this is your own practice room. Practice as much as you want. Everywhere else, you had to like reserve space to practice. Like in the new school, you had to reserve on a chart. You said, I'm going to practice from 3 to 4 on Tuesday, and the room had no drum set. So you had to haul a drum set to the room, set it up, practice, break it down, and leave. All in the span of like an hour. So purchase, they're like, here's a key, here's a room, go. And I was 25 minutes on a train ride from the city, so I could study with all the same cats from New York, and it just made more sense to do it that way. But yeah, I definitely lucked out. As far as teaching, though, like when I got out of school, I started teaching in college just to make some money. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was like a kid, and I started teaching out of a store, and as kids do, you learn on the job type of thing. And when I got out of college, I had gigs on the weekends, but when I first got out, I was driving like an auto parts truck for like 3 months. And I think I crashed the truck twice. I was a terrible employee. I got fired from that job, rightfully so. And I was like, you know what? I got to make some money during the week. So teaching was the next logical step. So I just made a list of every music store within, 20 miles this way, 20 miles that way on Long Island, from Levittown all the way across. And I visited every music store. I went to every store and begged for a job. Said, I just graduated college with a degree in music and I need students. And at three stores came back and gave me a job. When eventually that turned into one that I consolidated in Northport. So you know where Northport is.
Sure.
And I worked there and built that studio up for like 3 years until I had about 60 or 70 students before I went on my own, and started doing it on my own. And I've been on my own ever since. And I fell in love with it, man. Education to me became my favorite thing.
How would you describe your philosophy of teaching compared to others?
Oh, I'm the best one there is. There's no one better than I'm just kidding.
Have you performed like live as well, or has it always been a teaching thing for you?
Oh no, I always performed live. So I mean, I wanted to be a player when I graduated college. I toured, I did that thing. So I played with a band called Half Man Wonder in the late '90s, early 2000s, and I was a sideman for a bunch of different projects. But that one band got really close. And a couple of our friends' band, like 9 Days, we used to play with all the time. They got a big deal. Story of a Girl was their hit song. And we used to play at the bitter end down in New York City all the time. And Stephanie Germanato was always playing at the same time that we were playing. And that's Lady Gaga now. So, yeah. So
see, that's a New York name.
Right. So yeah. we were in that scene, and we had like, the record deal like on the table and everything was like poised to go, and then Napster hit and kind of destroyed the whole the whole thing. And like bands like us and a bunch of our friends just got shelved. We got put on the shelf. And and then it's like, okay, then I started being a sideman and picking up work wherever I could. I did recording sessions. Then I started doing the wedding thing. Hank Lane in New York City. I started working for them as a freelance drummer, wedding to wedding. And those gigs were tough because they would call you like on a Thursday for a wedding on Saturday, and you didn't know who you're playing with. You didn't know you just showed up with a tux in your drum set, and you jumped into a band.
Do you remember EJ the DJ?
Yes, I do.
I was a dancer for them.
Oh, get out of here! Oh, that is hysterical.
Yeah, I know. Something you guys learned tonight.
That's incredible.
See, Jay's my boy, man. Those. We're from the same town.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I know all that stuff. Yeah, so I did that, and then I started my own wedding band, and then I kind of get into that scene because that do a wedding, you make money. So
yep,
were you reading charts at that time?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Were you reading charts for those gigs, or was it just kind of going there? And
sometimes it depends on the gig. I mean, if it's like so for the Hank Lane stuff, a lot of times they had a book of about 1,000 songs, and they said any band could call any one of these songs, and of course you're not going to learn all 1,000 songs. And they didn't really have good drum charts. So most of the time, my philosophy was just 4 on the floor works with everything. So if I don't know the song, just keep on playing 4 on the floor until you hear it, and then you're in. Yeah. I remember one time I was playing, and we were here, in this kind of vibe. And the band leader turns around and goes, "Okay, California Girl." And I'm thinking to myself, this is, I'm like here. And I'm thinking Beach Boys. They all could be which is they all could be California. And I'm like, how do we get from to that? So he's like, he starts counting 1, 2, 1, 2, and I'm like, so I just dropped everything out to this, and it starts bum, 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 bum. But it was Katy Perry had just come out
Yeah.
California girls are all blah 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 blah.
Oh.
And I didn't know the song. I never heard it, never heard of it. And I just jumped in, and and that's how it went pretty much every Saturday. When I
Did
did
you rock
those
any
gigs.
bar mitzvahs?
Oh yeah, tons of bar mitzvahs, tons of corporate, tons of bar mitzvahs. Then I got involved with a company called Stage 39, who's still in New York and still very busy. They have a '90s band called Stifler's Mom. If anyone from that area, they're very
I've
big.
heard of them.
They're amazing. Yeah, they're great. And they're wedding side. They have a whole bunch of wedding bands, and I MD'd a couple of their bands before I moved to Atlanta. Then we started 2 wedding bands in Atlanta. Now I moved up to Baltimore, and I'm kind of out of it. I kind of stopped with the wedding thing just because I want to really focus on the education world, and that's kind of where I am now. So all in on Ed. Yeah.
You've grown quite a following on TikTok. You've got over 130,000
something like that
students now. So that's quite a difference from your 6 or 7 before.
Yeah.
What do you find is the common practice routine that you would recommend for people that are just getting started playing drums on a serious level?
So, I mean, if you're going to just start getting started with playing, I'm very much into fundamentals. And as a matter of fact, I have a Masterclass that I teach on fundamentals. Dorothea has actually been to that class live with me, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. So in college, I figured out some fundamentals because I had some trials, so to speak, before I got to college. I was into guys like Dave Weckl and Vinnie Colaiuta and Dennis Chambers. Those were the fusion guys, and Steve Gadd. Those are the guys I listened to. So I practiced a lot of chops, a lot of patterns to sound like them, and I would learn a lot of these little patterns. And if you put me on a drum set in Sam Ash or Guitar Center, I could rock these patterns and sound really fast and really impressive. But it wasn't in time. You know what I mean? It was just kind of fast stuff that I was good at and sounding impressive. And there was kind of a disconnect between time, and all that kind of stuff,
Yes.
So I could do it, but sometimes I would go into outer space and I wouldn't know where the hell I was. So at my college audition, I went to go audition, and at Purchase, there was a 75 student cap. So they weren't letting any more than 75 students in, and they didn't need any drummers. So the teachers were like, "Yo, dude, just letting you know, we need bass and trombone. We don't want drums. We don't care about drums. Got plenty of those." So I went to the audition thinking that there's no way I'm going to get into this school. The whole audition was pretty vanilla the whole time until the very last thing. They asked me to trade fours. Do you guys know what trading fours is? Do you guys do that exercise? Okay. Yep. So it was on the blues. I got to play a swing thing. And I'm doing that, and it's the bass players playing with me, and they're all just sitting there. And I'm very conservative on all those fours, because I know if I take out the licks, I'm going out of time. So I'm very, very simple stuff. But I'm looking over at the teachers, and they're bored out of their skulls. So I'm okay, I got to do something. If I'm going to get into the school, I got to do something. So the last round, I just started throwing out all that stuff, just furious, crazy. And I'm whipping around the kit. I have zero idea where I am in the time. And I'm flying around, I'm going, oh shit, I'm sorry, I don't know if I could curse. Oh damn, and I just came around as fast as I could, and when I hit that one, boom, right with the bass and right back into time, the teachers fell out of their chair. They thought I was hustling them. They thought I was a pool hustle. They thought I was oh, this guy's holding back this whole audition, and then he saved that. What maturity, Steve Gadd. He's waiting for that last minute to wow us with what he can really do. And they were just so blown away. They accepted me into the program. They brought me in. The challenge was when I got to class for the first time, they were expecting that guy to show up. But I wasn't consistent. So when I would do that stuff, I could count, and they were like, whoa, that wasn't right. And it started being like that. And then they felt like they got bamboozled. They felt like I conned them. So they proceeded to really get on top of me, trying to get me to basically quit so they could open that slot back up. So the whole first freshman year of drums was just white knuckle panic mode, just trying to make it without these guys constantly breathing down my neck. So it was like Whiplash, you watch the Whiplash movie. All the teachers were on my back to figure it out. And that forced me to ask a lot of questions and really break my playing down. I switched from match grip to traditional grip out of peer pressure. Peer pressure made me switch. And I carved out a method to rebuild myself. And that's where my method comes from. So it comes from all those years of figuring it out and eventually becoming one of the top guys in that school. So,
I mean, that's the best way to learn, right? Is get out there and surround yourself by people that are doing more than you, and step up, right?
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000%. And sometimes you got to get through it. You know, sometimes the silver lining is it created this method that I've made a career off of. You know, and
how would you describe that method? And are you? Two-part question. Are you both for beginners and more advanced drummers?
Oh, yeah.
Or you are.
Absolutely.
So how would you describe your method then?
So my method, because it's foundational, it comes down to foundation. Everyone has to do foundation. So the best analogy I can use is imagine if you go to the gym to work out. Do beginners go to the gym and work out?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do guys that have been lifting their entire lives for 30 years go to the gym and work out?
Absolutely.
Do they both do the same bench presses? Do they both do the same, pull downs or deadlifts? You know, it's all the same exercises. But the guys that are more advanced are using a heavier weight, right? They have better form. They have heavier weight. That's the difference. So with the fundamentals, there's lightweight versions of it for beginners, and then there's heavyweight versions. But it's still fundamentals. Sure. So like, for example, rhythm. The first thing I ask, now Dorothea knows this, but if I ask every student that comes to me to define rhythm. And this is something that happened to me in college that really kicked my butt. So how would any of you guys define rhythm besides Dorothea?
That's a good question. I'm a beginner. I started 11 months ago. I would define rhythm as finding the one, staying on the one.
Okay.
Your flow.
Oh, I hear. Okay, so these are answers I hear all the time. They're finding the flow, understanding the time, feeling the beat, how you flow. And that's not wrong. It's not incorrect. It's just more of a layman's version of rhythm. From a textbook drummer or musician standpoint, rhythm is notes. That's what rhythm is. When we talk about the rhythm, we're talking about notes. You guys are talking about the beat, the time.
Yeah.
So what I teach my drummers is they have to understand that first. You have to know what rhythm is and how it works with the beat. And that relationship between the beat and the note, that's how you create, like I say, a time signature. That's what a time signature does. It ties the count, the beat, to the notes that you're playing. And the notes are your rhythms. So any mixture of notes over the time is rhythm. And then you have to understand how that rhythm affects the listener. Okay? So that would be my next question to you. By changing the rhythm, how does that change the sound for your listener?
Well, it changes the mood. It changes the feeling of the song.
Okay, so these are woo-woo answers. These are answers that are like in the cloud, because everything changes the feel. Everything changes the mood. Dynamics will change the mood. Yeah. Right?
Wait, so what's the question again? I want to take a stab at it.
So if I change the rhythm, what does the listener hear? On a very primitive level, what does the listener hear? When you change the rhythm, what mechanism are you...
Speed?
Yes. But speed without changing the tempo. And that's the mechanism that you have to understand. The tempo stays constant, but by moving the rhythms around, you have this illusion of playing fast or slow. So if I'm doing the notes, say 16 triplets, versus eighth note triplets, the tempo is the same. You see? So one sounds fast, one sounds slow. And you have to understand that that's the mechanism. And then you have to know every rhythm like you know your name. That's what I learned first. And that's what I was missing when I would do all those fancy patterns. Because patterns, they were out of context. They were just rights, lefts, and kicks. And they didn't have any relation to time or rhythm. So very eye-opening. That's the first thing I go over with students. Does that make sense?
It does. Do you find some students grasp that?
They have to. They have to. Oh, yeah, they have to. That's one thing. And I do it in a very fun way, especially with the students younger. I mean, most of my students now, thank God, are a little older, a little more serious. So I tend to deal with students like that. So I don't have to, like, hold their hand in that sense. Some I do, though, because some come in, they want to learn how to play a song and do that, and they want that instant gratification, which is great. But if they want to truly speak, it's like a language, and you got to learn the words. You got to learn the alphabet. You know, have you ever heard of a rhythmic alphabet, like Benny Grebb's rhythmic alphabet or anything like that? That's like taking the 16th note and splitting it up into the 16 versions of one ienda that you could play over the time. So things like that you have to master. you have to
Yeah,
learn
you
that.
get like your ostinato going, and then you play all the different.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That was In Time Functioning by Gary Chaffee. That's kind of where I first saw it. All right, and I know Benny and all those guys talk about it. But yeah, so I mean, all that stuff has a mechanism, and when you learn all the foundational mechanisms, now it's like you gotta build it up. And so a beginner can learn all those basic rhythms, right? But a more advanced drummer might learn those rhythms and also have to stack stuff on top of it, like maybe change some sticking concepts on top of it, or put an ostinato underneath it. So if I want to do this, which is like a bio pattern, like a Brazilian thing, and then go through the rhythms. So you got to be able to play all those rhythms without losing that on top of it. And you have to practice that. That all has to be figured out. So for a more advanced drummer, we might do something more along those lines. And you could always add weight. You could always add, technical stuff to those exercises to make it better and better and better. And I've found that's what most pro drummers that you see out there, the Vinnies and the Weckels, they're great at that. They're great at just building those stacks, those rules, and then practicing each thing and knocking it out.
I love watching Benny.
Oh my God, Benny's amazing. Benny's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Mine too now.
Yeah. And it is such a beautiful synergy between the technique and the feel. Benny's great at creating music and technique, and they're so blended together.
Yeah.
And then when you introduce different styles into that, you have certain rhythms that would be more, apparent in this style as opposed to this one. Do you delve into different styles and stuff as well while you're doing this?
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that everything, if you break it down to its barest essentials, the 3 techniques that I practice are rhythm, accents, and sticking in that order. And that's everything. That's all drumming can be built down to rhythm, accent, and sticking. Single thing that we study. It's a combination of those 3 things. Every rudiment is a combination of rhythm, the notes, the accents, the loud and the soft, and the sticking, the rights and the lefts. Mm-hmm. That's it. So once you master those techniques, you want to throw it at a jazz thing? Yeah, it's a jazz thing. The greatest triplets, and the accents are those louds. That creates that melody. The stickings are your rights and your lefts. So if I want to add like a lick to that and do, it's just a matter of understanding how those things work together and then pointing it at that style. You got to listen to it. You got to be in it. You got to study it like anything. But once you start learning the technique, you can kind of throw it at any style. If you understand the Latin rhythms, funk, rock, metal, it's all the same thing. It's just applying the foundations and then getting into that style to understand how it works authentically.
And so one of the things, because I went to music school probably around the same time you were going to music school.
Sure.
One of the things I noticed is there wasn't a lot of double bass being taught at that time. At least not in the curriculum I was in. Do you do double bass or?
Yes. Sure.
So how did you approach learning how to do that?
That's a very interesting story, or a funny story. So I was very anti-double bass when I was in college because I was a jazz guy and I had a little 4-piece kit, and that's all, it was mostly what I was practicing on. So I wasn't listening to a lot of metal. It wasn't, there was not one style that I didn't really get too much into. I didn't get into the double pedal till after college. I studied with Frank Bellucci. Dorothea knows Frank, right? And if you're from Long Island, he's in Dix Hills or Deer Park.
I just know of the name, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so Frank is an amazing drummer and can play anything. And he's like probably the hardest working drummer in terms of like a weekend warrior, but if every day was a weekend. So every day he's got a gig. He'll teach students and then he's got a gig that night. And that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday. It's like every day. That's what he's like. And he's been like that forever. So I remember going to him for lessons and we were talking about technique. And he said to me, Jay, you got to have your technique's got to be so good that when you're playing, you don't think of the technique. He's like, that's where you have to have it. So we were talking about an exercise and he asked me to do something with the double pedal and my left foot was useless on the double pedal. And he challenged me on that. And he's like, well, why is your left foot useless? I'm like, well, I'm using time on the hi-hat. And he said, well, is there things that you could do with a double pedal that you can't do with a single pedal? And I was like, well, I guess technically. I was like, but I'm not a metal guy. I'm not into the whole, I don't want to, like, I'm not, I don't do that. That's not what I do. He's like, okay. So then he proceeds to play like a jazz thing, like a real, something like here. And then he does like a solo, and he's doing all this where he's having like 3 on top, 3 on the bottom.
Oh.
And he's putting in. And it was so nice, much better than I'm doing it here. But it was like so in the jazz world. And he's using that double pedal. Yeah, I was like,
well, Louis Bellson was like one of the first.
He was probably the first, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of anybody else doing it. But even Louis would just kind of like, he would do that like in a solo. Frank was using it in phrasing, like in jazz phrasing. And it was just like finishing out his thoughts. And I was like, oh. And that made me think like, so then he used to give me exercises like in syncopation where I have to like do this. So a jazz beat on the right cymbal, triplets on there, then the left hand has to read. So now you have like a...
From syncopation.
Right, so I'm reading with my left hand, then the right, the feet are just feather footing triplets.
Yeah.
And that was so difficult for me to do. And I was like, oh my God, like the balance was, so he really got me into the head of, you got to bring the double bass into it if you want that extra voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gives you a different feel. I mean, if it licks with the double pedal, like if I do like with 1 foot versus with 2 feet, it might sound the same, but it feels very different to me.
Yeah.
When I use it.
So how did you go about like which practice routines would you do to start to teach your left foot how to work the bass pedal?
Oh my God, there's a million. All the same stuff that I was doing with my hands, I started doing with my feet. So again, all the rhythm stuff,
Paradiddles, double strokes.
Absolutely, the whole stick control book. So Dom Famularo was like, Jay, you got to do the whole stick control book with your feet, which I started doing, and it's that same way. So you do like 1 E end it, or that over a groove. I can't even do it now. Like that, those kind of exercises,
Yeah.
sprints. Yeah, Dorothea, I'm sorry. Yeah. So that kind of stuff really helped, getting double strokes, trying to figure out the roll situation with the feet was challenging, rudiments with the feet, all that kind of stuff, and kind of just bringing it in. And then, of course, doing exercises, like sticking exercises, like things like top and bottom. So everything I would do with 1 foot, if I did this, I got to find it here. With 2, because it feels very different. The flow is very different.
Yep.
Do you watch El Estapario?
Oh my God, he's amazing. What a great technician that guy is.
What his feet are insane.
Insane. He's absolutely insane. And from a teaching standpoint, though, he's not doing a lot. He doesn't. It's not like the vocabulary is huge. He does a lot of the same things, but he does them so
but when he does,
well.
yeah.
Oh my God, he does them so clean and so precisely. And a couple of things I've stolen from him is ending with 3 on the kick, which I think is just tremendous.
Yeah.
So he'll go like,
Pick it up.
and he's got that so dialed in. So I used to practice. And I stole that right from him because I'm like, I got to get that. That is such an amazing thing that he does.
He just released a video with a triple pedal for his
Oh,
bass.
yeah, I've seen him do that. He's bananas. He wins social media as far as I'm concerned. Like he's just
Today,
such a good...
I think I saw it today. He is doing 6 things at once. So he has 2 sticks in this hand.
Right.
So 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what the 6th, I can't remember, but he shows you, he'll do 1 and then 2 and then
Right.
you hear the 3rd one. And then at the end, he puts the 6 in there. You'll have to watch
Right.
it. I think it's today's
Phenomenal.
video.
The best thing about him, and the thing that just gains him so much respect in the industry,
Yeah.
is the fact that he talks about how much practice he does.
Yeah.
And
you see it.
He's
you
not
see
a
it.
natural. He's claimed, I'm not a natural. I
Really?
just practice a lot. Yeah, he's claimed, I just
Yeah.
practice all the time.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I want to go back to a comment and you talk about jazz with the double bass. We have some chat lighting up here. Our friend MGK313 Beat Chef. He said it's kind of like the double bass is almost like a cheat in jazz. In a way, he claimed.
Well, I mean, are your hands having two hands? Is that a cheat? I mean, if you're Rick Allen from Def Leppard and you don't got your left arm, having two hands is a cheat.
Yeah.
But Rick Allen still does it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that would be Belushi's answer. His thing is like, you have the left foot. It's another tool. Why not use it? I mean, I can't do like with one foot.
I can't do it.
I can't do that with one foot. I mean, I can slope, trying to muscle it out, but that's like ridiculous. With this, why not use your second foot?
Mm-hmm.
And why not have that same facility? So there's just things that you could do. So my band, the one I was telling you about earlier, we played some gigs with Dave Matthews, opening up, which was really cool. It was a cool thing. And so I got to meet Carter and hang with him. And one of the gigs, his manager, who was like, our manager also. His security guy, who was our manager, Dave Matthews Security. Those are the guys that were managing us.
Oh.
That's how we ended up getting that gig. He put me on the stage right behind Carter Beauford. Like I'm saying, like I could put my hands on the drum riser, and I was sitting right behind his drum throne, and I could grab his ankle. That's how close I was. I watched the whole show like that with his headphones on, with his in-ear monitor mix in my headphones.
Wow.
The thing with Carter that I've never noticed, because whoever sees him at that angle, like I'm staring at his feet the whole time.
Yeah.
90% of the time, he's on that double pedal. I never seen anybody do it like that. And I'm talking like when he didn't need to be on the double pedal. So like when he's just playing a groove, like he splits that. He'll go right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. He'll split those patterns. And he'll stay like that, like almost the entire tune. Unless he's doing
double pedal.
Oh my God, it's like constant. He's always on the double pedal. And every now and then he'll do, you'll hear it, da da da. And that's not one foot, that's him splitting it because he's already there. So anytime you hear him do like da 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 da, it's right, his feet are just on it. And those doubles he gets, boom, da, boom, boom, boom. He uses 2 feet.
I never
He doesn't
knew that.
go. I never knew it either until I watched him do it. And then his left hand is just riding on the ride cymbal. That's like his.
If it's an efficiency thing or like a stamina thing, because I guess if you're playing all night, you're
Right.
splitting the energy between your legs.
I think I think it's a sound thing. I think he likes the punch that you get because when you do with a 1 foot, you're naturally gonna have like a soft loud. You're not gonna get like a unless you really dig in. But with 2 feet, that the signal's identical, right? You have that boom boom. I'd have to ask him. I'm totally guessing why he does it like that.
Yeah,
But-
especially with his hi-hat patterns and stuff, like his coordination between his left foot, or actually his
Yeah.
right foot, because he's left-handed.
Right. Right.
Um,
No.
back and
When
forth like that.
so interestingly enough, when I asked him, I asked him if he's
He
left-handed.
might be left.
He does most of the stuff with his left if you watch him play it. Even his fills lead lefty. But when I asked him if he's left-handed, his answer to me out of his mouth was, I've always been ambidextrous. Like I could always do kind of everything both ways. I could hit both ways. I could throw a ball both ways. And he's like, and when I first got into the drums, the first like 3 or 4 years, I learned this way. Right, but it never made sense to me, and I always felt uncomfortable. So one day I just started doing this, and it just felt more comfortable. And then I just stayed like that forever.
Okay.
So that was his answer to me. As a drum teacher watching him, I think he's left-hand dominant.
I do
Just
too.
like-
I do
Yeah,
too.
I think he's
Because
left-hand.
I've had to correct left-handed people.
Right.
Because you can't be left-handed in a drum line.
Right. Well, exactly. What do you do in that situation, Dorothea?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, that's
I
right.
guess you're
No,
right.
they don't
You
have a
gotta play-
choice.
Yeah,
They
you got to
do not have a choice.
Right. They do not
Because
have a
everyone
choice.
has to be in sync.
Uniform, yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that such a benefit? Because now your weak hand has to lead
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
So I mean, what a benefit that is if you get that together.
Yeah. And if you
That's
don't
crazy.
play drums at the very beginning anyway, and you're just starting,
Right.
you
you
have
don't
to
know any
learn.
different.
And I always tell the kids, you walk with both feet.
Right. Right.
And you don't have a left-handed piano.
Right. Exactly. You don't turn a piano upside down.
Exactly. And there's other instruments that are not left-handed either.
Right.
You know, you never see a left-handed flute player.
Right.
Backwards. And you can't be left-handed in a symphony orchestra on a violin. You'd be crashing into the person next to him.
This is true.
What about taking a shower, Dorothea? Can you be left-handed in the shower?
You can, behind closed curtain, you can do whatever you want.
That's right.
Okay. I thought
That's
so.
right.
I thought so. So, Jay, where can people find you if they want to get a lesson one-on-one? Where can they find you?
So the best thing to do, if you're following me on TikTok at TheDrummersAlmanac, all one word, go up to the link in my bio, and I have that free masterclass. Same one that Dorothea took, but I've done it multiple iterations, and I keep on adding it and changing it, getting feedback. So anyone here, if they want to take that class, that's the best way to start, because from there I give information on how to contact me and get in touch with my team, and if they want to take lessons with me or whatnot, that's going to be the best way to find me. So the link in my bio, and I'm sorry I don't have if you guys want to throw that in the chat, I think you just did. So there you go.
Yes, our moderators put that in, guys.
Oh, perfect.
The Drummer's Almanac. He's using a community page of Streaming Artist Agency tonight for some technical reasons, but please follow the Drummer's Almanac. And yes, join that master class. You have content all over. I've seen you on Instagram. I've seen you on TikTok. I've seen you on YouTube. It's almost every platform you're on.
Yeah. Facebook too, but I got to build up the Facebook. So I have a private group on Facebook that you could also get through that same masterclass. If you join that, you could get into my private group and it's a little more exclusive. So there's a couple of things we got going on.
Awesome.
One good thing about Jay, he tells like secrets of like what is the song? Oh shoot, I just heard it today, where you hear a beat and then the drums come in, but it's not what you're thinking it is.
Like rock and roll by Led Zeppelin is like that. Where
is one of them, and then I was thinking of the other one. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't say it.
There's a bunch of those, but yeah, I got a whole series on that. I'm counting it in and hearing it the wrong way. And it's like whenever you start, drummers tend to start on a weak beat, or the band starts on a weak beat. You get that illusion of where they're starting. And some bands do it on purpose. I don't think Led Zeppelin did it on purpose. I mean,
I think some of them do too, just to throw you off.
Oh, totally. Yeah. "Hold on My Heart" is one that I should do. That's by Genesis. And if you ever listen to that intro fill, listen to it, because it starts with a drum fill, and Phil starts on the E of one, and then finishes out the fill, and it hits on one, and it sounds like an anticipation, but that's one, because you hear that first note as a downbeat, and it always would mess me up. I'd hear it and be like, damn it, and it would take a second to come in. Stuart Copeland talks about that. He talks about Spirits in a Material World. It has that weird starting fill that starts strangely. I've done so many of them. I think "Take It Easy" was one of them that has like a weird intro. There's a whole bunch. But yeah, I have a series on that if anyone wants to check that out on TikTok.
It's very interesting.
Super cool. Well, man, we cannot thank you enough for joining us here on In the Pocket.
It was such a pleasure.
We could sit here and talk for hours, but we do have a hard stop here. We went a little bit over, but
sorry about that.
No, are you kidding me? Anything from my boy from Long Island? We got you, man. But guys, the Drummer's Almanac, and we did see a question in the chat. Do you teach beginners? The answer is yes, all skill levels. He does have the master class, but he does have a foundation that he talked about, learning rhythm first for beginners, which is very different from others that teach more of that beat first, that money beat. So really excited. I'm looking forward to looking up a lot more of your content, just me personally. And man, you are just a delight, and thank you for sharing all this information and your backstory with us, man. It was just such a pleasure for us.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you to you guys and to Dorothea so much for inviting me and making me part of it. So it's my honor to be with you guys. I love it.
Good.
We love you.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Jay Fenichel, right? Jay Fenichel.
Got it. Nailed it.
All right. The Drummer's Almanac. Please go to his TikTok and all his platforms. And guys, just well done.
Oh, thank you. Can I end with one thing? Because I was
Yeah.
watching the podcast before that. I don't know if you see my shirt. I'm a huge horror fan. And Halloween, the original, is that's my favorite horror movie as well. Michael Myers, Halloween. And when you guys were saying that, I was like jumping in my seat, like 1978, 1978. You know, so yeah.
Is that
I
what
was
it
two.
was, the very first one?
It was
78.
78.
Okay.
Yeah, 78. You
Yeah,
know,
you and House would get along really well then.
yes, we would get along. I love that because I'm a 80s slasher. I mean, it's a guilty pleasure,
Yeah.
but it's like one of my favorite genres.
I don't know if it's a good thing to get people like that together, though. You know, bad things could happen, you know?
Oh man.
But
Oh,
I
man.
trust you.
A buddy of mine sent me an image not too long ago, and it was like this weird cereal box with this like Grinch type character with like things on his fingernails, and it was a cereal box. And he says, "What is this, Jay?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that's the cereal box from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 on the scene where Jesse wakes up screaming and they're having
Stop
breakfast."
it.
And he's like, "How do you know that?" And so it's like stupid stuff like that. Like I'm a fountain of that kind of knowledge.
I have an
You know.
autograph from Robert Englund in the Freddy costume.
Oh my gosh, good
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, I was a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan.
Oh, that's my dream. That's my dream right there.
Yeah. Well, literally, it is a dream.
Yeah, that's it.
So, well, stick around, Jay. So, Jamie's going to play us out with a couple of songs just to finish the show off. But, yeah, man, thank you so much again for coming on the program tonight.
Absolutely.
We enjoyed it so much. And, guys, again, inthepocketlive.com every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will get the multi-platform stream working eventually. Bear with us. It is just the three of us for right now, me, Jamie, and Dorothea. So we're working. We're wearing many hats, so we'll figure it out. But we'll get the live replay so that you can watch the full interview with Jay here, as well as House on the Hill 78. So if you missed it, go to YouTube. It's a YouTube In the Pocket show, and that will be uploaded tonight. I promise you that. So, Jay, have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
All right, stick around. Jamie, play us out, brother. I'll put you on the big screen.
And hopefully next week I will be behind my drums.
Oh, you